Hello, everybody. This is Team 5 Borderless AI, and this is our Sprint 3 presentation for the Immigration AI Advisor project. And today we're going to introduce you our team members, roles and responsibilities, improvements we made according to Professor Wang's feedback, and project description, team working agreement, personas, MVP, technologies, algorithms, and we'll also show you some diagrams. We will also walk you through our Spring 2 recap, also the product backlog, sprint summaries for sprint 1 and sprint 2. Finally, we'll introduce you our what we've done for sprint 3, and we'll look at some metrics. We'll also brief you about our retrospective and finish the presentation with a project demo. Um, Now, Matt, can you introduce everybody to the class?
Hello, I am Matt Borkowski, developer and Scrum Master of Borderless.ai. Just speaking was Miles, our developer and team leader. And here along with us, we also have Nuvarsh, Raj, and Santosh, all developers.
Right. And Santosh, you can
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about our improvements.
Uh, we got feedback from Professor Wong that we have not to improve our sprint presentation for the next time. So we have made some improvements regarding user stories and tasks, like type of user, user role, story points, like Fibonacci number for sprint 3, like they should be divided unequally, and table for backlog stories. And we have team velocity, history, average velocity of the sprints. And we have the user story 2.6 from sprint 2 in sprint 3. We have API slides, which we have included. And we are going to discuss about bundle charts more detail during our presentation. Next, our our project name is Immigration AI Advisor, and our team is Borderless AI. Project description, as mentioned, Immigration AI Advisor is AI-based application designed to assist international students with immigration-related queries. And the benefit and outcomes are like faster, more accurate immigration advice for international students, reduced burden on international student offices with limited resources. And we have a GitHub link. Thank you. Next.
Thank you, Santosh. In terms of our team working agreement, we got together in the very beginning of the semester, and we emphasized on our communication, particularly meetings, response time, project updates, and also we agreed on deadline support and task tracking in the area of work distribution and participation. Finally, we wanted to ensure that we provide high quality code, and we will also meet over Zoom and in person and have an open mindedness in terms of dialoguing about each retrospectives. In the end, we agreed on we should have a respect team culture. And now Santosh will tell us about personas.
Otherwise, these are our personas. Sarah Johnson, who is 35 years old. She is an international student advisor with 8 years experience handling numerous students each semester. She is overwhelmed by repetitive tasks, struggling with immigration rules. She unlimited time for personalized student interaction due to workload. We are going to help her. So our goal is to automate routine tasks to reduce her workload. Next, we have Akan Lee, age 20, who is 22 years. and an international student. He is studying computer science and he's on a F1 visa, and he needs help regarding academic advices regarding visa status, and he's getting delayed due to overburdened advisors. Our goal is to help him give the advice through the through our project. Next. So this is the Dr. Maria Rodriguez, who is 50 and VP of Office of Global Service. She Dr. Rodriguez focus on ensuring compliance and immigration rules and make sure that and student support and satisfaction. She is responsible for strategic planning, resource allocation, and policy implementation. So yeah, our goal is to improve efficiency to better serve students, use data, and automate ensure compliance with immigration rules while respecting the limited budget.
Mhm.
Next, Raj.
So coming on to our MVP for the sprint 3, we have been building upon the foundation. So the current sprint introduced a new feature, the addition of abstract summaries to the retrieved document. This enhances provide users with concise and meaningful overview of their document, further simplifying the process of understanding and managing immigration related paperwork by combining automated key information like extracting high level summaries. The MVP delivers great value, reducing time spent on manual reviews and improving over accessibility. Key feature of the MVP is always the end goal was the same. Like we need a PDF upload thing so user can upload an I-20 from through a web interface. Data extraction, the system automatically extracts and displays basic information such as name, date of birth. Usability, user can interact with the system, receive valuable information instantly and process accurately. And also our MVP is value to users. The MVP solves a practical problem for students by saving time and reducing the complexity of manual reading. It provides immediate utility and laying the groundwork for future enhancements such as more detailed document parsing and AI-based immigration and all. Moving further,
So, with respect to the technologies that we've ended up using over the course of our project, um, we mainly base our code on Python, as well as making use of some of Flask's capabilities in order to serve our own backend API. Again, with the help of Fast API, PyTests for our unit tests and test cases. Our front end is primarily based on React.js with a little bit of CSS and HTML, of course, for the styling. Um, we currently make use of a couple of different machine learning and AI technologies and algorithms. Um, Primarily making use of PyTorch as well as BART for abstractive summaries that we've generated based on our work over the course of this current sprint. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much it for this slide. With respect to those AI and machine learning algorithms, we currently make use of some neural networks, um, as well as the use of cosine similarity from our vector database in order to generate and retrieve documents um, semantically based on user queries, um, as well as regular expressions to help clean some things up, um, do some text pre-processing, and the aforementioned TensorFlow and PyTorch. Um, yes.
All right, thank you, Matt.
Hello guys, these are our diagrams. Next slide. This is our architectural diagram, and this is context diagram. This is our entity relationship diagram. This is our sequence diagram, and the following is the state diagram. Thank you.
Coming towards the sprint, to recap what we done last sprint, we introduced an AI-driven functionality that enhances the user interface for the immigration AI advisor. So our objective was basically implement a basic AI model to provide personalized advice, ensure flexibility for handling complex passing in the future, develop a front-end chat box for user interaction. Key accomplished was AI model development successfully implemented, and AI model using BART or an RNN trained. We uses the query through the documented data. We also implemented the front-end chat box, which was developed like as a user-friendly and functional chat box, created a systematically tagging system for organizing and structuring AI training materials. We also collected a huge amount of documented ethically of USIC documents and compiled common immigration related question and answer to train the AI model effectively to get best results. Moving further to our product backlog.
All right, thank you, Raj. So here are the product backlog of the entire project. As you can see, Sprint Zero, we set up the environment and we researched about the background about student immigration. And going forward, Sprint One, we successfully parsed I-20 document and we implemented some front end and back end basic functionalities. Um, and the technology we predominantly used in Spring 1 was Flask and CSS and all the front end stuff as well. For Spring 2, we collected documents, sorted immigration documents, and we started to develop AI models for the project. And also, we started to gather immigration related queries and questions for this project. And we were able to implement the chat box functionality for Sprint 2. And then for Sprint 3, we first wanted to verify the performance of our vector database. And also we improved our front end, optimized our back end, and did developing on AI part. Of course, there are some stories that were not completed, which we will tell you in detail in the following slides. And now, Novrish, why don't you tell us about our Sprint Zero summary?
Thank you, Miles. So in the Sprint Zero, we started with identifying what we want to do and identify the problem that the international students were facing, which was basically the delays that they had in getting immigration advice, which was mainly because the offices, immigration offices are understaffed, or some of the students need more streamlined advice, and it can be a bit time consuming for all the students to get that from a limited number of um, advisors that they have. That we thought could be solved if we created an AI-based application which would read the immigration documents provided by the students, and it would provide immediate and accurate advice based on their queries. We um, discussed all the combinations, and we came up that we would probably need to use Java, Python, or React JS for the development, and TensorFlow or PyTorch for the AI implementation of the project. And we decided that we would follow some quality standards and communication protocols to complete the all the tasks that we would assign each other, and we would use the agile methodology that we were taught to complete all of those tasks. Then moving on to sprint one summary. In sprint one, we started with the actual project and we worked on what the MVP would look like. Basically, we would first have the PDF uploading and retrieving information from it, passing through it, and that was completed there. And we had given ourselves 24 story points, which we completed all of them. We created a full stack infrastructure with Python and Flask as backend and React.js on front end using a bit of HTML and CSS as well. We implemented some error handling systems for the document uploads and created a user-friendly messaging and system logging system. And we completed all of the front end and back end components, leaving space for an AI component and database layers that we would be adding in the future sprints. We also tested all of the functionalities of the prototype as it was back then, and it worked all of it worked well. Um, in that sprint one, we developed a routine of having regular meetings and through communication channels like Zoom and Jira and other group texts. And we worked well to complete all of the tasks that we had, and it was a productive sprint, I guess. You can move on.
All right. In terms of
Um,
uh,
yeah, Miles, you
the
can go
burn
ahead.
down chart, that's for sprint one. The mistake we made was that we thought we had time and we didn't really start the project until about the end of first week. And then it was just really hard to get everybody on GitHub and start delegating work to everybody. So which that as the graph shows, you can see that from day 7 to day 15, 16-ish, we were just slowly churning out those stories and struggling to work together. And around a little bit more than 2 weeks after the sprint, we had a meeting and called everybody together and had decided that we absolutely have to finish it as soon as possible, and that's when everybody jumped in. We worked for a solid few days and finished everything by the end of the sprint. So that was the burn down chart for sprint one. Uh, Raj, you can tell everybody about our sprint two experience.
So basically, we completed 5 out of 6 planned user stories, achieving a completion rate of 78%, which was 36 out of 46 story points. Major accomplishments include implementation the AI model, which was our starting plan of this project, the heart of this project, handling immigration queries and document analysis. The team developed a functional chat box interface integrated with backend systems for user interaction. Tagging system was implemented to organize AI training materials and map documents to relevant queries. The team successfully collected and compiled immigration-related document and question and answer content from USCIS. One task remained incomplete was fine-tuning of AI model for improved accuracy. So there we lose 10 story point. The front-end design was improved and integrated with the backend for document processing and query handling. Basic AI functionality was implemented, allowing the system to provide personalized immigration advice. The team identified communication as an area for improvement, particularly regarding WhatsApp responsiveness and meeting attendance. For Sprint 3, the team committed to stricter deadlines, including completing components 72 hours before due dates and conducting daily stand-ups. So that was our Sprint 2 summary. Coming towards the burn down chart, as you can see, like we plan like not really well in starting. So you can see the gray line according to that. And then like by sprint 2, we taken the steps, major steps toward the project. So we completed like that. So that's the burn down chart for sprint 2. Moving further.
Thank you, Raj. So here's what we've done for Sprint 3. First of all, we revamped all the story points to Fibonacci numbers, as the professor reminded us to. And so first, before we worked on everything, we've decided as developers, I want to verify performance of vector database so that AI advisor retrieves accurate and efficient search results. So we thought we have to ensure that our vector database performed correctly because that's fundamental to everything else we wanted to accomplish from this point. And then also, another is as a student, I want the front end display AI generated summaries of immigration documents. And we also wanted to optimize performance and efficiency for the user experience. Another story we did was as a developer, I want to generate metrics on AI accuracy so I can measure systems performance and improve weak areas. We also decided that as a student, I want pre-program immigration answers via UI so that I can get instant responses to common queries because in the areas of student immigration, a lot of answers are sort of very solid and we didn't want to use system computing power to regenerate questions each time. So we added the pre-programmed section. And also, as a student, I want AI generated immigration answers via the UI so that I can get dynamic and complex queries. As you can see, we assigned 13 story points because that was really, really hard to accomplish. And lastly, as developers, we decided that we wanted to fine-tune the AI model, and this actually was a leftover unfinished story from Spring 2. So we decided that we're going to fine-tune the AI model when the AI is working. So therefore, we put it in the very last story of this sprint. In terms of the test, we verified end-to-end system workflow. We verified the vector database. We also verified the front-end display of AI summaries. And we tested the responsiveness of the summary section. We also tested the system performance under load. Further, we validated the accuracy of pre-programmed answers. And We also tested how long it would take for the AI to generate complicated dynamic answers. Um, Moving on, in terms of the completed stories, we were able to verify the database. We are able to summarize the I-20, and we optimize the performance and efficiency so that the ranking is so much faster. And we also use the metrics to measure our performance and identify the areas that were not working or that were weak. And also, we demonstrated the technology of pre-programmed immigration answers via our UI. Um, and in terms of the AI generated dynamic UI and answers, I know we've done a lot of that, and we've set up a lot of back end. And there were a lot of things that were working and that were not working. And Matt, being the technical lead, I will have him talk to you a little bit more about what was not accomplished.
I think the story for Sprint 3 um was one of where we set out especially at the beginning of our project with the idea of a chatbot in mind. As we approached especially Sprint 3, we saw it as the best option to narrow the scope of our MVP while still doing our best to deliver the original value that we had promised. We saw a compromise in terms of tailoring responses given by our back-end AI model, and augmenting the responses from just generating documents related to user queries to also giving abstract summaries based on those documents. Hopefully giving a little bit of context, a little bit of information at a glance to what the user can take away from those documents in the pursuit of helping them answer those questions.
Mhm. Absolutely. So to summarize that, basically we got a lot of AI component done, but right now we needed a little bit more time and resources to get the front end and back end work seamlessly like a chatbot with our all the AI that we already done. So that was not accomplished, and then that's why we decided that this story 3.6 is not accomplished. But then again, we did have a lot of AI. Moving on, Raj, you can tell everyone about velocity, please. I don't think I can hear you. Okay, so while Raj is fixing his technical difficulties, I will present this slide, which is we had 45 story points. We completed 27 story points, and we didn't complete 18 story points. Therefore, the velocity of the sprint is 27. Matt.
Thank you. So we have here our sprint 1, our sprint 2, and our sprint 3 velocities. I'm not sure if these numbers necessarily tell the whole picture. Yes, we did achieve quite a bump in productivity over sprint 2. However, we did learn a little bit more about ourselves and how exactly we would chart user stories uh, and points associated with them using Fibonacci numbers. That needed a little bit of work and rework over the course of each sprint. So we ended up with an average number of 29. Uh, all things told, I think we learned a little bit more about our velocity, our capacity what we could handle as a group, and how to best maximize our collective talent.
Absolutely, I totally agree, Matt. And in terms of our burn down chart, so when we first started the sprint, it was mid to end. We first of all we worked really really hard on sprint two, and then it was mid to end semesters. So we thought would give us couple days to regroup. And what happened is time really flies, and before we know it, 5 days passed by, and we really didn't really start anything there. And then we had some stand-ups, and we met with each other, and we made a lot of progress in terms of verifying the vectors and doing a lot of background troubleshooting and making sure that things were done correctly. So you can see that we've accomplished some work. Until about day 10, that was just everybody was really still working on the project, and we're hitting the wall here and there and everywhere, and with other classes and everybody having other priorities and responsibilities. Uh, Again, a few more days passed by, and we didn't accomplish a lot in terms of checking off the tasks. And then we met and we troubleshooted, we talked among ourselves, and that's when I would say that a lot we talked with each other. So each component we were working on, we helped each other in pairs, and then we were able to check off a lot of tasks. And I would explain ourselves that it shows that the last 3 days, um, it seems like we stopped around 18 points there and we didn't work, but it's the real story is we kind of hit a wall around day 19, and then we really worked really, really hard with each other. And we tried to solve the problem, the last two stories, and we just wasn't able to make the milestone progress, and therefore you can see that we weren't able to take the next 3 days we weren't able to take off any tasks accomplished. I would say that giving the AI points, we have 13 assigned 13 story points. If we're giving another 1 week or so, that graph will dramatically drop. So that's what happened for sprint three. As you can see, this is our burn down chart for the three sprints we've done. And moving on, Nuvrish, this is about completed and committed ratio.
Yeah, thank you, Miles. So in the sprint three, we completed, as we mentioned before, we completed 27 out of the 45 total story points, and 18 weren't completed, which were two user stories with 13 and 5 story points each. And the ratio comes out to be about 60% out of the total. Um, uh, Using the historical data, in the sprint one, we completed all of our story points. In sprint two, we had 10 story points left, which was the user story 2.6, which carried forward to sprint three, but we were still unable to complete it. And we were left with 27 out of 45 in the third sprint. The average of the ratio comes out to be 75.7% of the total.
Hmm. Santosh, you are muted.
Thank you, Nurish. Thank you, Miles. So, in the retrospective, we are going to discuss what went well. Uh, we have completed many user stories despite uh, everyone's busy schedule. Uh, we we have a positive feedback and strong teamwork. We have pulled everything together successfully, but yeah, we have we couldn't complete some of the tasks, but we have done our best. And the as discussed in previous feedback, like regarding what can be improved, we have improved. We talked about Jira and better communication. We have improved on that. And if we go on to what can be improved, everyone we want everyone wanted to create more subtasks to ensure stories don't fall behind for the future, and better monitor and manage items to reduce stress, and everyone should respect deadlines while balancing personal responsibilities. These can be improved in the future. And regarding the actionable items for the future, since this divide task into smaller time-bound subtasks, make daily personal detailed to-do list for better personal and work task tracking, and practice active listening, respect, and follow through on shared information. These are the actionable items which are for everyone to implement into their daily life going forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Santosh.
This is our project demo screenshot. Next. Yeah, this is the working screenshot. Next. Now this is query 1, query 2. Next. Yeah, this is our project demo on API, Pinecone API, Firebase API. This is our GitHub link. Make sure that you guys visit us, and we will show you the live application demo.
Yeah, so I'll share the screen to show the demo of our project.
Mhm.
Yes, can you see the screen?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, so this is what the UI looks like, and here we can see that the project works, and we can upload the documents here. Upload the documents here. As we upload, it reads through the files and then shows whatever um, the uploaded file is. And after that, we can ask questions from it if whatever we want. Like, for example, if we have a question regarding, let's say, what an F1 visa is, and then we would say that it will answer those questions. As you can see, it has given the extracted the information from the uploaded file. If we ask it a question and it'll answer with the solution, it'll give you a short summary, or it'll give you a pre-processed answer as it is programmed to do. We can also ask other questions, like for example, if we about working under an F1 visa. So let's say we ask this. It gives you the short excerpt of what you need to know. and that's what the whole thing looks like. Now, if we go to look at the code of it, this is the front end of it. The different APIs called user AIs. This is the chat box and the main backend of it, where we call all the fast API, and this is the model that we're using, the sequence transformers and the pinecone API. And that is the project of, that's all for the demo.
All right, thank you very much. Well, that concludes our presentation for Sprint 3. We hope you enjoy it. Thank you, everybody.